Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at the Visceratuant. I have no clue how to pronounce this shield's name. Just doing my absolute heckin' best. The Visceratuant is a defender, is an exceptional level item, and it's kind of an oddity in the world as it doesn't really have quite a good place to fit. It doesn't have faster cast rate, and it doesn't have +2 to skills. It doesn't have like all resistances, and it doesn't necessarily not have good stats. It's just kind of like some sort of weird balance in between, say, a storm shield on one hand and a, I don't know, spirit rune word in the other. Sanctuary and Storm Shield are definitely a lot better defensively than this shield, and your Spirit Rune Word is a lot better offensively than a Storm Shield, for instance. Like if you wanted, faster cast, a plus to skills, Storm Shield doesn't offer that. So if you're specifically going for defense, a Storm Shield and Sanctuary is a good choice. Whereas if you're specifically going for offense, your Spirit Rune Word is the better choice. Visceratuant lies somewhere in the center, and although it doesn't have any faster cast on it, it offers more offensive capability than a Storm Shield, but less defensive capability than a Storm Shield, but more defensive capability than a Spirit, which is kind of just it's weird. It's very weird. Let's go over it together and let's talk about it, shall we? So right off the bat, you'll notice. Ooh, yeah. Where'd that come from? Right off the bat, you'll notice that it's +1 to Sorceress skills, which is definitely very nice. So it is specifically aimed at the Sorceress. It could have been +1 all skills, but no, it's +1 Sorc only. It's 125 defense with a 60% chance to block on the Sorceress. It's 65% on Amazon, Assassin, and Barbarian, and 70% on Paladin. It does have a smite damage of 8 to 12. It's one of the poorest smite damage shields. It has 30% faster block rate, which is definitely what you're going to need if you're going to build a block Sorceress. It has 30% increased chance of blocking, which again is one of the reasons why it has such good blocking in the first place. And then we also have a 150% enhanced defense, which does vary between 100 to 150. And that is really the only variable on the shield is the defense. We also have an attacker takes lightning damage of 10, which is absolutely negligible, and even by the time you hit level 28, it does practically nothing. Although I do believe that does get buffed up by your lightning mastery if you were a lightning sorceress. You can also socket this, of course, and you can put something in it, like, for instance, you could throw a diamond in there or an rune for some resistances, which it is severely lacking. There are no resistances on this shield. It's one of the reasons why you won't see a lot of people using it. It is kind of a pretty shield, though. I mean, if we take it to the character screen real quick and take a look at it, it does kind of have a very fancy graphic. I believe that's the same graphic as the Sorceress Iron Shield, or the Iron Stay, or whatever it's called. Now, if you were going to use this shield, there are a couple things to take into account. Number one, it's a relatively high blocking shield for relatively no strength. This is one of the bonuses, the upsides of this particular shield versus something like a Spirit Shield, which requires 156 strength, or a Storm Shield, which again requires 156 strength. The only shield that would be even close defensively to this shield at a low strength value is the Sanctuary Rune Word, because it's only 3 sockets, and you could potentially make that in a, I believe, a Grim Shield, which has a low strength requirement as well. So the only real other low strength requirement shield that even comes close to the Visceratuant is the Sanctuary, and Sanctuary does not have plus to skills. It's also important to note that this is plus to Sorceress skills specifically, and not plus to all skills, which could have some bearing on whether you want to use this or not. If you're using O skills like CTA or something like that, keep in mind that O skills are not increased by class skill bonuses, only by generic all skill bonuses like that you see on Mara's Kaleidoscope. It does have the 30% faster block rate, the 30% increased chance of blocking, both of which will really kind of point this directly at a blocking character. And honestly, that's really what this is. It's a blocking shield. It's a blocking shield for a sorceress, specifically. The ethereal version does have 187 defense with 28 strength, although I can't really see a lot of people wasting a Zod rune in this. I just don't see it. To upgrade this, you're going to need a Lem and a Co and a Perfect Diamond. And let's go ahead and upgrade this real quick, and let's see what we get. I'm pretty sure the block chance goes up by 12% when you upgrade it, although the strength requirement also goes up. So if you're trying to go with an ultra-low strength requirement build, you might not want to upgrade it unless you can guarantee that you're going to get 77 strength to put this on. So we're going to go from 125 defense, 60% chance to block, 38 strength, level 28, to 72% chance to block, 77 strength, and level 50. So not bad at all for the upgrade. The ethereal version can be upgraded as well, and it will also cost you a Lem, a Co, and a Perfect Diamond. And I'm not really sure about the ethereal version. I feel like there's really not enough good reason to upgrade the ethereal version. Do I really not have another Lem rune? I am just blind today. Alright, so the ethereal version upgrades from 187 defense, 60% chance to block, 28 strength, level 28. Oh yeah, and the smite damage. It's 8 to 12, and it upgrades to... Let me get that real quick, because I forgot about that. Upgrades to the heater. The heater is 16 to 30 smite damage, which doesn't really matter for this shield, because it's for a sorceress, which is why I'm reviewing this item on the sorceress, but just wanted to say that, because some people are interested in that sort of thing. So it goes to 355 defense, 72% chance to block, 67 strength requirement, level 50. And as you can see there, it's a decent little shield, but you would have to put a Zod rune in it to actually use it on a sorceress, and that becomes kind of a detriment. So what are the benefits of this particular shield? You've probably seen this shield before. You probably never even thought twice about it. Alright, so what are the benefits? It's a max blocking sorceress shield with plus to skills. So if you're trying to go for max block on a sorceress and you would like to at least keep some kind of plus to skills, this is a good choice. You could also go with something like a storm shield or something like that instead, but when you go with a storm shield, you're losing out on any plus to skills whatsoever, which is a big issue. You could also theoretically socket this with an Eld rune to make it even higher, and so that the dex requirement is even less to hit that 75% block chance. Because keep in mind, you've got to beef up your dexterity to get to the 75% block chance. So the higher your dexterity has to go to hit 75%, the more points you're dumping into something that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily need. So as you can see, let me just redo that real quick. I'm at, soft points. This is at level 93. Just wanted to double check that real quick. So at level 93, you're looking at 209 dexterity to hit the 75% block chance cap with this particular shield. And if you did this with a different shield, one that wasn't the Visceratuant, it's gonna be a lot more. I don't know if I have another shield just laying around. I do not. My inventory's been cleared out pretty heavily. Well, let's take the Spirit Monarch shield, for instance. So let's go ahead and beef my strength up a little bit. And you'll notice now we're at 57% chance to block on this shield, whereas we're at 72% on this other shield. And you look at my block chance, I'm only at 62%. So to hit the same 75% block chance with the Spirit Shield, if we were trying to, we would need to add in, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41. So you'd have to add in 41 more dexterity to hit the block chance cap with the Spirit Monarch Shield, whereas the Visceratuant is hitting it much, much easier. You also cannot socket the Spirit with an Eld Rune. You could potentially socket the Visceratuant with an Eld Rune to get a little bit more block chance to reduce the overall burden on the dexterity requirement even further. And that's really all there is to this shield. I hate to say it, but that's it. It's a max block Sorceress shield. That is what it is for. It is a low strength shield as well, so that you don't have to dump as many points into strength for your shield, whereas you do have to get 156 points into strength for your spirit. If you don't upgrade the Visceratuant, you literally don't even have to put any points in because it starts out at 38 strength, and most characters will have 38 strength at some point or another, even with just equipment. Like, it's really not that hard to hit the 140, or sorry, the 38 strength requirement for the Visceratuant. Let's see where you could potentially find this item if you wanted to go hunting for it. Maybe you want to build your own max block Sorceress. So the Visceratuant, I've actually found a ton of these as I've been playing through the game. Let's assume 100% magic find because it is a relatively low level item. It's like level 31. Also keep in mind that the higher level you are, the more dex is required to hit the 75% block chance. So at level 31, when you find this shield, it's actually not going to be very high on the dex requirement to hit that 75% block chance. It's a large amount of dexterity that I'm showing you because I'm level 93. So here we go. We've got non-quest flags and Dariel in Nightmare. That's our first one. That is a decent chance, a 1 in 610, and then Bale in Normal, 1 in 628. Mephisto in Nightmare, 1 in 673, and even Diablo in Nightmare, 1 in 702. All very good opera options there. I mean, any of those would work just fine. Let's take a look at Super Uniques. So the Cow King in Nightmare has a pretty good chance at 1 in 1,744. It's actually really good. And then the Hell Cow King, a pretty good chance also. Countess in Nightmare, kind of a crappy chance, but if you're farming her for runes, you could give it a try. Treehead Woodfist and Rockanishu and Bone Ash in Nightmare difficulty, those are all relatively easy to farm and relatively easy to get to. In fact, Bone Ash is always in the same place. While you do have to run around and find Treehead Woodfist and Rockanishu, Bone Ash is like literally one of the easiest monsters to farm like in the game, bar none. Honestly, I think he's even easier to farm than Pindleskin. Pindleskin is a little bit of a pain in the butt, especially in Hell difficulty with his charges. There are occasions where all his group will charge you at one time and kill you. I don't think I've ever died fighting Bone Ash before. Plus, he has like some other little champion packs around him, which are fun to fight as well. In a Nightmare difficulty, you're not going to have any trouble killing Bone Ash. So pretty good option there. Lots of options there, actually, for finding this particular item. And I don't think you're going to have any trouble finding it because it's a pretty common item. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when it's about a shield with a name that I can barely pronounce, the Visceratuant. I'm sure I said it wrong. Tell me how I said it wrong down in the comments. I always love hearing you guys correct me when I say something horribly wrong. And as always, keep watching.